I'm not really sure where I'm going to go with this today, but I feel like it needed to be shared in whatever rawest way I can for now. It's just because it's on the top of my mind. I work around a lot of rich people, a lot of the elites, the higher ups, the top of society, those individuals, the ones that look, down upon us, like the Hunger Games. I work amongst a lot of them. Not with them, but amongst them. They're the people who come into my workplace of establishment, and those are the people that we cater to. And you realize over time, like, a lot of them, are good people. There's plenty of them that I always try to tell people, like, most of these rich people, these people that everybody says they sold their soul, and whatnot, not all of them have sold anything. Not just because they're rich. Now, some they probably have. But a lot of these people just happen to they just happen to get rich. They just happen to make a lot of money, or they fell into some money, got lucky, or they knew somebody, or sometimes people are just really talented. And they are actually good individuals because they were good when they were kids, when they were hanging out with you in the neighborhood. They were good at school. They were just good overall. Just decent human beings. And somehow they didn't let the money corrupt them. Because that's pretty much what I feel and see with a lot of the other end of those clients and people that I deal with. The ones that have been corrupted by the money. The ones that have allowed the money to take over their personality, to take over their ambitions, to take over how they treat people, especially how they treat people. I deal with a lot of personal assistants, and I realized that personal assistant job is probably the worst job on earth. Maybe not literally the worst, but there's some pretty terrible jobs. But being a PA for one of these rich people is just like being in an abusive relationship. Especially if you're with the wrong one, the wrong ones. Because they simply do not care about you. They don't look at you as equal. They don't look at you as human. They don't care about normalities in the world. They just expect you to jump through hula hoops and pull off miracles. They want you to be able to book things that can't be booked. They want you to get them into places that is closed. They want you to get them access to places just because of their status. And a lot of times in this world, we will accommodate because they have money. People with money end up carrying status because they're known, they're seen on television, they're in magazines, they're glamorized amongst society. The elites, like I said, the top of the Hunger Games, those people get what they want most of the time. And the reason why they get what they want most of the time is when they say they won't take no for an answer, they really will not take no. They will have those PAs, they will have people bother folks, they will pester them until they get exactly what they need. They will threaten individuals, they will try to threaten their jobs, they will try to come for their families in some extreme cases. I don't deal with anything like that, but I do see the mental wear and tear it does do to some people. I work with folks who have been those PAs, and they're dang near traumatized from the experience that they had with those folks. Having items thrown at them like Cassie, vases, staplers, books. People getting aggressive, verbally abusive daily. It's just, they don't give them much. They're looking for that one little bit of enjoyment. That 1 ounce of acknowledgement that they did a good job. Because a lot of people who get into those circles, they do want to prove to those people who are powerful that they can do a good job, that they're worthy. But the bottom line is they're human just like us. The rich people are human just like the rest of us. They're not special. Most of them are not that special. The analogy sort of like with sports is like just because, for every brother that made it into the league, there was at least 40 that didn't. Because there was more. There are more talented folks out there. Diddy's going to go down. Guess what? There are more people who are just as talented. R. Kelly went down. There are other singers. There are other people who have skills. Eventually, the top athletes disappear. No longer play anymore. Guess what? They get replaced by better ones. Because with evolution and as time goes on, we have more abilities. We have more talent. We have more knowledge. We can get better at everything. But dealing with some of these rich people, it is bothersome. Because, like I said, for the ones that are really good, genuine folks, there's a good reason why the normal people of like us in society question all of them. because we really don't know. We feel like most of you really do look at us like we're peas, little peasants. Oh, be gone. You know, that kind of shit. Like that it's ridiculous. And they're not any different than us. They bleed like us. They grow hair, they get haircuts, they usually have families, loved ones, etc. But the difference is when they go to work, they're absolute monsters. True tyrants. Really bad people. And those really bad people really give the good ones a bad name. And that's what the shame is about the whole thing. It's like there's so many people that are actually good, but the ones that are awful are really, really awful. And they're the ones that people talk about the most. They're the ones that somehow get glamorized the most. The ones that seem to be the top of society are the shittiest people that you'll ever find. The ones who are smiling in your face all the time. You know, the ones that are just like, oh yeah, everything's great. Terrible. They're shit. Absolutely have a heart full of doo-doo. There's nothing good in there. And it's hard for me to watch people like struggle to, have normal relationships with folks, or, really just be either normal team members or just, I can feel the trauma sometimes hearing some of these people's voice talking to them based on their past experiences dealing with these individuals. I'm telling you, dealing with clients or dealing with folks who literally will not take no for an answer, it is annoying. I'm not the one. I couldn't work for these folks because I have such a disdain for people who look down amongst everybody else in society that, golly, I can't even speak, but I mean, it's mostly because I've been up forever, but I have such a heavy disdain for these people that I couldn't work for them because I'd be in jail. Like literally. The richest of us, if they really came at me with some, I am who I am, you need to move that. So like, I'll give you a situation. Say somebody works at a hotel, right? These people will try to book a room. You can tell them, hey, I'm sorry, we're 100% capacity. We cannot book that room for you. We don't have it. They will expect you to get rid of somebody else who done paid with their hard-earned money's dollars for those rooms. You want them to move those. Give them lesser because I'm here now. Well, I'm like, fudge you. I don't care about you. You're irrelevant to me. Those people pay, they deserve their spots. I don't care about you. I don't care what you've done. I don't care what you produced. I don't care who you work for. I don't care if you made the best video games of all time. I don't care if you're the best athlete of all time. I don't care if you directed the best movies. Eat a dick. Seriously, I don't give a shit. I would beat your head in with a baseball bat, Negan style. I do not like these folks. They are trash. I would be the first person to die in the Hunger Games because I would have went out there and I would have said too much. I'm the person who ends up disappearing, vanishing off in the middle of nowhere. What happened to Mike? Oh my God. Dang, man, you know what? He was working yesterday. I ain't heard from him in a couple of days. I wonder why. He did pop off the other day at that rich dude. You talking about the guy who had like the golden Lamborghini? Yeah, Mike was popping off at him because he tried to act all entitled. There's something wired in my brain to where I cannot function around you. I literally malfunctioning around these people who treat others so bad. Not saying I'm Batman or I'm Spider-Man or some type of superhero or anything like that, but I genuinely do not like these folks. And I don't get upset to the point where I really get angry a lot. Especially not anymore. I used to have a quick trigger when I was younger, but now, no. Only thing that really bothers me now is people who really treat others like crap. Especially my friends or family or anybody that I really care about, co-workers, people who genuinely try to do good things in this world. Those are the folks that I try my best to be there for. And, a lot of people are struggling with jobs. They're struggling with work. And we know who controls all of it. It is the elites. It's the rich. You know why? Because they control and they own all the businesses and all the companies. They're the ones that we have to seek for their approval so we can work in their establishment, so we can get paid, so we can live. We unfortunately need these folks. We need them because without them, we can't do anything. But on the flip side, they need us. They desperately need us to succeed because the only way they get to the top is because they own all these businesses. They own all these corporations. They own everything that generates all the large funds of money. The politicians, what do you think? They take our donations. Without it, what else are they running with? They take our money and they go out there and they have these mega, conventions and stuff like that with $1 million seats up in the upper decks, plenty of box seats. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just ridiculous how much money is spent at those conventions. And guess who's there? Other corporate leaders, other people who own all the businesses. You wonder who's like owning those businesses that are getting put together, those construction sites. Those people have a lot of money, a lot of coin, a lot of clout, but they're missing the God and the family sometimes. And it's all clout and all evil. Those people do not care. Those people need us. And the only way you stop them from being the way they are, the only way you can truly humble those folks is if you are no longer available for them. These corporations start crumbling down. Society starts falling apart because they can't make any more money because nobody's working for them anymore. We all go on strike or we all start freelancing. It's a good thing that a lot of people are trying to, do their own thing, social media style, or they all, own their own businesses, do things on their own. Get outside of the matrix, not the real matrix. I mean, there is no matrix. It's just life. But get outside of that and try to actually do things on your own without them. People are starting to side with those folks. You know why? Because that's where the genuine care is. Now, sometimes people own their own businesses and they suck at them and they become just like the elites they talk about and hate every day. Because money does do something to people. It's not, money isn't the root of all evil. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil. And that's what people always get confused. But it's when you get that money, it does something to some folks. I feel like all it does is it really just embellishes the person that you really were. If you're already shit, then you're only going to be a stinkier, bigger pile of shit later. If you're already a good person, it's only going to enhance the good things you were going to do for people out there in society. If you were selfish, you're only going to be more selfish. If you were unselfish, you're only going to go out and help more people. And I see that. And like I said, it would take everybody gathering together. Everybody would have to go on strike. Everybody would have to demand for a union. Everybody would have to collectively get together and say, we're not going to work. The only way you would punish those people if you really did not like them is to stop showing up. That's the only way you could do it. That's the only way we could succeed like that. Is literally to stop showing up. But it's impossible because we can't get that many people in unison to do anything. Hell, the NFL, they have the worst PA of all time. The NFL PA, they can't negotiate anything. They can't get guaranteed contracts because they can't all band together and actually sit out for a whole season or really risk it because most of those people need that money. Because most of the money in the NFL is going to the top players, and there's a lot of other players who are just out there scraping by. That's why they go broke so fast. Even the ones that make some coin and some money, usually that's financial discipline, but most of them, they go broke. A lot of them because they ain't really making that much money. A couple million dollars sounds good, but when you start living that, $1 million lifestyle or that millionaire lifestyle, and then you hit taxes and everything else chops you down, and you got family members hitting you up, you got friends hitting you up, that money disappears immediately. Next thing you know, you're cut up out of the league, you get injured, something happens to you, you no longer can play. Broke. Poor. Oh, man. So, like, NFL running backs take more collisions, have more CTE than anybody that you can possibly find out there. They're usually the smallest person on the field, but yet they have to take on the biggest and baddest people at all times, every play. And they're usually one of the most heavily dependent on players on the field. And they get paid the absolute least. Unfortunately, because you can go find more. But they really should demand and get more. But they got screwed over by, their own PA. They screwed themselves out of their own negotiation. When they got rid of all the rookie contracts years ago where they were getting paid a ridiculous amount of money because the veterans got all pissy and they were mad at the younger generation for coming in and not proving anything, but yet they were getting paid the most money in the league sometimes when they really just weren't paying attention to the fact that it was only like the first rounders. Everybody else was getting, modest money. But they were mad. So now running backs no longer, if you get drafted high, can make that kind of money. Now they're going out there playing for free, getting killed, having CTE, can't remember who their family and friends are by the time they're 40, 45, killing themselves, hanging themselves, taking too many pills, drinking alcohol, and they end it. And they really didn't have much to say for it in the end. All because a lot of people couldn't band together and, stick it out for one cause. That's just an example I can think of why I know that we'll never be able to band all the way together as people to stop this. But we can slowly chisel away at it, chisel away at the pain. I don't know. Rich people, we all want to be there, but I always wonder about how many people, if you get rich, how many of you will just turn into the same monsters and demons that we see that exist now? Because when we get rid of one, we only replace them with another, it seems. Just like all these YouTubers that seem to get big and get all this clout. Look at Mr. Beast. Got lawsuits out the asshole now. I thought Mr. Beast was the greatest guy on earth. Giving out to charity, made a whole bunch of people's lives better, but apparently he has absolutely sabotaged and ruined the lives of a few other people. The people that work for him, the people that are closest, the people that are most loyal to him. No. Got on his little pharaoh, king in the mountain type of grift there, and then just decided, you know what? Hey, y'all are peasants. Y'all work for me. I will not take no for an answer. Go out there and get it done. I don't care what it takes. And that puts unbelievable levels of stress on those individuals, and they don't know what else to do besides try to beg for folks to get things done for them. Begging. You know who else used to beg? Slaves. Just saying. People on the streets, people that are homeless, begging. That's what those people are. They're no different than the folks that are out there on the street corner or under a bridge with a can, holding out for change. Change! That's what we are. The normies amongst us in society, the rest of us, people that like you watching this video, normies. We're not much different. And the truth is, we're not any different than the people who make all that other money. But the thing is, they have power. But we can take that power away from them slowly. Slowly. It ain't ever going to happen overnight. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know where this rant was going today. Hopefully some of it made sense. I don't want to take all your time. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. But yeah, that was bothering me. The amount of control that rich people can have over the rest of us is unfortunate. Just like the lives that P. Diddy destroyed. Control, monsters. It just happens. But just remember, guys, God, family, then clout. Have a good day. Peace.